Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about operations with matrices, I guess. So we'll do an example of plus and minus, and then we'll try and get onto multiplication as well. So I'm going to try and do all that in one. So first example, we're going to look at plus. Now, sorry, I can't speak. Plussing matrices is exactly as easy as you hoped it would be. Okay, I guess that's the best way to explain it. So if you have two matrices, third attacking the portable. Two matrices plus together. Let's use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Let's say I want to plus those two matrices together. Now, as most of you can guess, if this is a 2 by 2 matrix and this is a 2 by 2 matrix, my answer is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. All right. And then for each element, all I'm going to do is add the two corresponding elements together. So the top left one, this answer here, is going to be my top left number plus my top left number, which gives me 6. Then this one plus this one, which gives me 8. 3 plus 7 gives me 10. And 4 plus 8 gives me 12. All right, pretty straightforward, I think. The only thing with this is you need to make sure that the order of each matrix is exactly the same. Because you can't plus two matrices together that are different orders. It doesn't make any sense. Because otherwise you'll have a non-existent element plus a non-existent element, and that doesn't work. Try it on your CAS. If you don't believe me, it'll tell you invalid dimensions or something like that. So similarly, if we look at minus, minus works the exact same way. So again, they need to be the same dimension, and the answer will be the same dimension. All right. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to plus the corresponding values. So 10 but minus 2, so I'm not going to plus them. I'm going to minus them. 10 minus 2 gives me 8. Negative 3 minus 8 gives me negative 11. Okay, so I think plussing and minusing matrices is pretty straightforward. It's just figuring out the process. So that's nice and easy. Multiplication is the one that's a little bit more challenging. Let's do multiply. Okay. Let's do a 2 by 2 multiplied by 2 by 1. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that's crazy talk. Can't do that. They're different dimension sizes, but we actually can. All right. So multiplication works a little bit differently to addition and subtraction. For starters, you're not exactly you don't need the exact dimensions to be the same. Okay. So I'm going to write the order of each of these underneath. So this is a 2 by 2, and this one is a 2 by 1. Now I encourage you to write the order at the bottom of each of these when you're doing multiplication, because this gives you a lot of information. Firstly, you need to check if these two middle numbers are the same. If they are the same, it means tick, we can do it. If they're different, it means won't work. Okay, so the number of columns in this matrix needs to be equal to the number of rows in this matrix, which is a little complicated. That's why I do the drawing. Okay, and the two leftover numbers, so in this case are 2 and 1, these two together, they become the size of our answer. So our answer is going to be a 2 by 1. Okay, so I know that my answer is going to be a 2 by 1. I'm just going to leave that a bit open so I have room to write. So now we get into the process. And what you're going to do is you're going to multiply each row by each column. In this case, we only have one column. So we're going to do this row multiplied by this column. And then we're going to add those values together. So you have 1 times 5 plus 2 times 6. Then we do this row. 3 times 5 plus 4 times 6. All right? That's the size, that's what our matrix is going to look like. And it's important you know this process because on the exam they tend to ask you some finicky questions about why the process hasn't worked. It's important you know all this stuff. Now I'm just going to simplify this matrix to make it a bit tidier. So 1 times 5 is 5, plus 2 times 6 is 12. So 12 plus 5 is 17. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 4 times 6 is 24, which means that that's 39 plus together. All right. Now, if there's more columns in the second one, you'll have to do some more operations. So let's have a look at a bigger one. So let's do a 2 by 1 times a 1 by 3. All right. This is a tricky one. All right. So we've got to check, does it work? So we have 2 by 1 and 1 by 3. If we follow the same process that we followed before, these two middle numbers are the same, so it can be done. And our answer will be a 2 by 3, which is weird because we've got two small matrices here. So we have 2 rows and potentially 3 columns, but again, I'm going to leave that open for working out sake. So now what I have to do is I have to multiply each row by each column and plus together if there's any extras. So we have 10 times 1, which is 10. This row by this column, so 10 times 2, which is 20. 10 times 3, which is 30. Now once all these columns are gone, I move on to the next row. So this row by this column is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. All right? That's how that operation works. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully the process makes a bit of sense. I suggest if you want to look at how to do this on the CAS, go back to my video about matrices on the CAS. I'll show you how to do multiplication and stuff on there. Hope you enjoyed. Take it easy.